The Amboseli National Park is the poorer and smaller relative of Kenya's Masai Mara and other wildlife parks. Is it worth your while to visit this boutique park?
I don't know what these flamingos will do.
This is an account of
They
a
don't seem
two-day
to.
visit
Oh,
to
they
the
are, but that's
park
it.
to assist you in
They
your
gone off.
decision making.
So he's probably gonna. Oh,
From the
jump out.
bone-rattling final 50 kilometers of the 240-kilometer journey from the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, the roads in the park allow for a more sedate but dusty driving experience. Our first view of animals in the park was that of the Maasai cows grazing in the near arid fields close to the entrance. Within minutes, we noticed two mobile structures towering above the horizon. Our first sighting of the park's wildlife was an omen for the abundance that was to follow. I wondered if they stopped to welcome us to this wildlife haven. We then had sight of Lake Amboseli, located in the center of the park and in the shadows of Mount Kilimanjaro, the freestanding mountain range that provides life-sustaining water through underground channels to the park. The lake was shrouded in pink and white, made up by the flamboyance of lesser flamingos that inhabit the park. The moaning in the background is that of a distressed giraffe.
Looks like he's dying.
It's unique where they rest there. Firstly, the way they do that S with their trunk, and secondly, that they keep the trunk rested on their tusks. But I guess it's.
The elephants of the Amboseli have unusually large tusks, which often serve as
There he
hangers
goes
for
again.
their trunks. Many stopped in their strides and held these poses as if they were prepped to model for
See,
the
this other one is also
photographer.
holding a pose. You see, this one is also holding a pose. This is probably the yoga club.
Of the big five of the wildlife kingdom, we saw elephants, lions, and large herds of Cape buffalo. The low growth of vegetation in the center of the park and the dry and arid lake bed allows for easy spotting and viewing of birds and animals. This is the viewing hill located in the park. The Cape buffalo roamed the park either singularly, the so-called male dagga boys, or in smaller groups, or more commonly in huge herds.
What a sight.
The abundance of wild animals and birds and their tendency to congregate in large numbers in and around the lake facilitates rewarding encounters at close quarters. Although there are rumors of diminishing numbers, we saw a pride of lions feast on the remnants of a wildebeest carcass. Let us turn our attention to the scenery and landscapes that one encounters in the Amboseli. The centerpiece of the park is Mount Kilimanjaro. Although incessant cloud cover prevents a guaranteed viewing, its snow-clad peaks, when visible, adds immeasurable value as an iconic background for landscape photography, against which animals are featured in the foreground. The paradox of the relationship between Mount Kilimanjaro and the Amboseli is that the mountain is neither in the Amboseli nor is it in Kenya. The mountain range is firmly located in neighboring Tanzania. Yet, its waters are the lifeblood that sustains the Amboseli plains. The Amboseli is derived from a Maasai word which means salty dust. Be sure that you will encounter much dust in this park. 5 different habitats have been described in the Amboseli. These range from the dusty, dried up bed of the lake, the wetlands with sulfur springs, the savanna, and the woodlands. The effects of flooding and rising water levels led to the abandonment of 2 large lodges in the central part of the park. The lake and its extensive plant-covered vegetation, surrounded by dust and sand, creates the impression of a vast oasis in the desert. And then there are the birds, large numbers of them, reportedly between 350 to 600 species. The colorful starlings and weavers are present in large numbers, especially at the lodges and at the hillock, which serves as the park's lookout point. Here are a few shots of a handful of the birds that one will encounter in the park. I have included shots of the Goliath heron, the African jacana, the squawko heron, the African fish eagle, the secretary bird, the whistling ducks, and the vulture. Did I mention the colorful spurfine? Be sure that you will easily encounter numerous birds and many bird species in the park, which is a birder's haven.
Now this is sun. You see how the sun is shining on it? So it brings out that red color on it. So they even get stained with the red.
Let us return to the animals that one will encounter in the Amboseli. As is expected, there are large numbers of Africa's most dangerous animal, the hippopotamus. Expect to hear their grunting, growling, groaning, and wheezing during the course of the night.
He's also drinking. One.
The Amboseli hosts large clans of spotted hyena. They form the apex of the predator-carnivore chain with the lions. The interactions of the clans of spotted hyenas with the resident prides of lions are legendary. We were fortunate to view a clan of spotted hyenas hounding the lions for a share of their kill. Then there is the wildebeest, Kenya's iconic wildlife symbol, the star of the migration in the Masai Mara, and the animal that brings visitors to Kenya in their millions. The wildebeest population of the Amboseli is huge. They are distinctly different in one respect from the herds found in the Mara. They are much lighter
Take them
in
coming
color.
through the water.
It's the migration, really.
This is a migration in Amboseli.
This is a walk in the park.
It's a migration in Amboseli. White.
So is that touched on them?
If there are wildebeest, then there is bound to be zebra and other antelopes as well. We saw a zebra that was about to give birth. The Amboseli National Park supports large numbers of wildlife species that are easily spotted and viewed. Its geographical location, which is a distance away from the Masai Mara, and access to the park may create logistical difficulties, although a flight from Nairobi may ease these access problems. I return to the question I raised at the beginning of this video. Should you include the Amboseli National Park as part of your safari itinerary to Kenya? Based on my 2-day experience and the information I have provided, I would suggest that the answer is self-evident.
Okay, that's it.